Right. Hello, lads. Thanks for joining. Hopefully, you have joined. I haven't got time for jokes because I'm working and we've got this mock. So, first of all, I'm just going to come on to this one and I'm going to put a little focus on sponsorship. Okay. So, sponsorship by brands. So, I've put the two there for you to have a look at. Just you can have a little read there below. So, of a little bit of information. So, LeBron James 90 million from Nike endorsement deal from 2013 2010 and another 100 million for to 2015. So huge amounts of money on him. Messi, the world's best footy player, and typically Messi earned a total of 81 million in 2016 with massive endorsements. So now the exam questions can look at brands, like you can look at brands like Adidas or Nike, as it does there in relation to athletes, and it can look how it affects athletes, but it can also look the sponsorship relationships between, say, a brand, various brands and like orgs, so like FIFA, or you could have you know the Olympics as another one. The FIFA World Cup. Any of those organisations also get a lot of different sponsorships. Now, there are obviously plus points. So what you would describe as benefits and also drawbacks to when you get these huge deals. So we're going to look at it from have a look from the benefits point of view. Stay to that. So we're going to look at the benefits point of view. So obviously, one of the benefits of such a deal is you've got a good security of income. So you've got security of income for the player or the NGB. You're going to have a good security of income. There's going to be income over a fixed period of time. If you look there, that's over a period of time. So you know you're getting that money coming in. As long as you behave yourself, you've got money coming in, huge amounts of money in that front. If it was FIFA, that was the same when they were getting sponsored by Visa and Coke. They were getting massive amounts. I think it was 32 million for each brand alone, contributing to some of its sponsorships. So massive. One of the benefits is it can mutually benefit the partner, so it can offer, so it can improve reputation. So reputation of both the sport and the sponsor can improve. So it can have a positive rep. So Nike will get a better reputation if it's on the player. If you sponsor a World Cup, your brand's bigger and better, and it makes it seem more successful. So it can improve the reputation. It can have a positive reputation on your brand. Okay, it can bring it more what's called kudos, so it can get more kudos, and it can also seem more fashionable. So I'm thinking of Under Armour here. So kudos means respect, and it can seem more fashionable. Um, if you are, if your brand is worn by one of these guys, or the boots we talked about with Adidas, people said Nike's better than Adidas, but Messi wears, a certain brand of boots and then they're fashionable, and that can be a big benefit. It can really show the brand off because it's on the best player in the world. So it can be really good for that, and it can obviously on big events it can increase its global reach. So there's a big global reach there, as another benefit of that sponsorship deal. So that's benefits of some of the good things. Some of the drawbacks are fairly obvious. You can become over reliant. So if the athlete or the governing body, more so I would say, can get an over reliance on the money coming through. So they get used to the money, and they sort of work out how they're going to how they're going to spend the money, and therefore it can be it can create problems. Okay, it can also they have exclusivity, so it can also restrict. Oh, missed the E off there. It can also restrict other sponsors. So there can be an issue where there's other sponsors, which is a negative. If you sort of commit to just one brand, you can't, start to wear other different brands as well. You've got to stick to that. Okay, and if anything goes wrong, there can be an element of reputational damage. So it can be reputational damage to the players like Messi with the tax evasion, or it can be if there's like corruption in like FIFA, it can damage Visa was the partner for that. It can massively damage the brand, which could be a negative of sponsorship. So they're a couple of the drawbacks there that you need to know of. I could have slotted the fourth in, but I think for now that would be enough to help you. So just to recap, looking at sponsorships, it can be brand to athlete, brand to organisation. Benefits are it gives you the better security of income because you get money in from the sponsor. It can give you a positive reputation because you're linked to an amazing organisation or event or an amazing player. It can improve the fashionability of your brand, and it can give you a wider global reach. The World Cup's watched by hundreds of millions, for example. Okay, on the negative side is that you can become overly reliant and work out a budget based upon that. It can restrict other sponsors. It can create reputational damage if the player is involved in corruption allegations such as Messi or anyone else. In the Messi's case, I think the brands decided to stick with him, probably because he's the best in the world. All right, that's a quick one on that. Looking at the negatives and positives, negatives and the benefits of sponsorship.